There are many, many, many parents over the years. We know things have changed from the standpoint of young parents in particular saying, well, you know what? My kids in Christian school cost money that I don't have. Or I don't feel prepared to be a parent to teach them at home. And at the end of the day, I know the public school down the road. I know a lot of the parents of my neighbors that are in the elementary school, and yeah, I don't really think I'd feel comfortable with them in high school, but K to 12, eh, I even know a few Christian teachers in the setting of that public school. So my kids are safe. I'm going to put them into that scenario, and they sometimes rationalize away. What have you found from your experience over these years to be the reasons that, I'm going to go Christian parents end up deciding I'm safe to put my kids in a public school because I can make up for the deficits when they are at home? You know what I'm saying? What have you found? Because this is the big issue.
Yes. We start off with a theological position that we think is drawn from Scripture, and we've already covered that today. But we kind of state that the education of children is assigned or given by God to the family with assistance from the church. We don't think the church is divorced from it, but it has a secondary authority. So that's why we say the pastors have a role. It's their job to assure this happens. And we have a lot of individual families just struggling out there, and, they don't get any support from the elders or deacons or the pastors, because it's controversial because so many people, public school and the church. So, but to answer your question more directly, all the things that are harming children are coming in at the very young levels. It's happening early in, kindergarten in some cases. So they're being exposed to this anti-God sex education, which is often explicit, clinical, of course. It's not porn in the way that we would think of it. They're being exposed to LGBTQ in the lower grades, and they're being corrupted right under their parents' noses. And one thing we're finding, one of the good things about being at home, is that all this curriculum is coming home now, and so the parents are having to help the children, and so suddenly they're on the Internet, and their child is in some kind of borderline porn, and they're just shocked. They can't believe it. And they've been told, we had a friend that was on a Christian conservative talk show recently, and I'm not going to name the show, but it's a very good program, and the host has lots of programs dealing with the school problem, maybe 2 or 3 a month. And so he was reminiscing with the speaker, like me, and saying, man, my kids, I can't believe the stuff that's going on in our house now with the public school curriculum. And here he was complaining about the schools, and yet he still had his children in the schools. And they were being corrupted right under his nose, and he found out about it when he looked at their curriculum at home. And I told my friend, I said, you should tell him to go back and listen to some of his old programs. So there's a lot of detachment, oblivious to what's going on. The pastors don't warn the people. And so there's a lot. It's very complicated, but it's happening, and it's happening at the lowest levels, and it's happening in the Bible Belt right here, in the South and in the Upper Midwest, where these things are not being so exposed. This is not just a problem in New York City and California. It's happening right there in central Pennsylvania. So yes,
right.
We've got to get the kids out. They don't belong there.